Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Infant Crisis Services Feed Babies virtual event. My name is Kathy Oden Hall, and I am the chair of this year's Reimagined Luncheon. Thank you all so much for joining us online. Infant Crisis Services is an organization with a mission that's near and dear to my heart. I'm a mom, I'm a grandmom, and I care about all the babies and toddlers, especially those in need in our community. I have been involved in a variety of areas at Infant Crisis, and I'm so grateful to each of you for attending today with open hearts. By tuning in, you're already stepping out and making a huge commitment to the needy babies and toddlers in our community. So on behalf of the littlest among us, thank you. Now we invite you to put your feet up, since many of you are watching from the comfort of your own home, and we'll tell you how you can join Infant Crisis Services and make a difference in the lives of babies and toddlers. I hope you watch till the end, because we'll be sharing details about how just by giving today, you can be entered to win a vacation getaway.
This year, Infant Crisis Services celebrates 36 years of feeding hungry babies and toddlers. This is quite an accomplishment for a cause that began as a Sunday school class project with a single focus: to care for our tiniest and most vulnerable victims of poverty. Today, Infant Crisis Services has grown into a vital social service agency in Oklahoma because of people like you. This year, we anticipate serving more than 25,000 babies with food, formula, diapers, and other essentials that every baby needs. At the beginning of 2020, we knew the need existed. Our clients told us so, and in response, we began offering services more frequently, and our clients came to us more often. No one knew what was on the horizon. Come March, our clients' needs grew, more than we ever imagined. But to safely continue serving them, something had to change. So we pivoted. We continued to offer our clients the same essentials, a week's worth of food, formula, and diapers, and began using a drive-through, contactless format. In the 5 months following the initial impact of COVID-19, we've seen a 40% increase in clients served compared to that same time last year. Most days, we serve over 100 babies and toddlers between our main office and the baby mobiles. 100 kiddos each day that wouldn't have diapers or food if Infant Crisis Services didn't exist. With everything going on this year, we know that more families than ever are relying on us because of difficult circumstances. 40% of our clients surveyed said they have been directly impacted by the pandemic, either with unemployment, exposure to the virus, or simply not being able to find the items they needed for their babies at the store. Those of you watching may have had similar experience as well. This year really highlights for me that most of us are one emergency away from not being able to provide for our family. We hope to keep up with this increased need for our services, and this is where we need you. Your support has made it possible for us to never close our doors during the pandemic, always remaining a constant safety net for Oklahoma families. You are the key to making all of this possible. We've been so blessed by donor loyalty throughout our history at Infant Crisis Services. This year, we'd like to highlight a few of those donors and thank them for their unwavering commitment to the babies and toddlers. Peesh and Lisa Patel have been donors of Infant Crisis Services for 13 years and have been instrumental in our development as an organization. They helped us grow our building in 2016, and they supported our client expansion earlier this year. I'll let them tell you about what Infant Crisis Services means to them.
We've always had wonderful experience with Infant Crisis Services. Everyone's been wonderful to work with. It was an excellent opportunity for us to go in there and meet everyone and build that relationship with them, and then to see our employees build a relationship with them.
We would bring 40 young people to the organization right before the Christmas holiday, but then we would assemble all these bags, and somebody asked, does this last you for the month or for the next few months? And they're like, no, this will last maybe the weekend. If we live in one of the greatest countries in the world and we live in a great state, it's hard to believe that in our own backyard, children are going hungry.
As first-time parents, you don't know what to expect. Just having that education, having the experiences, worrying about, if you're gonna have enough money to buy a formula at the end of the month or diapers.
And we were both teachers, and there were a lot of conversations of, okay, this can of formula is really expensive. How are we going to afford it? How are we going to pay for it? When a baby is born, they don't get the choice of who they're born to or where they're born. And so for that baby to be punished by not getting food and diapers, that's not what we're about, right? So if we live in one of the greatest countries in the world, then nobody in our country should go hungry.
Our next honoree is Governor Bill Anatubby of the Chickasaw Nation. The governor and the Chickasaws have positively impacted countless communities and organizations throughout our state. When our clients told us that they needed our services more often, we were able to answer the call because of the Chickasaw Nation and their lead gift to support our mission. Now, our baby mobiles visit 6 counties within the Chickasaw Nation territory and will add more soon.
The Chickasaw Nation and Infant Crisis Services have enjoyed a great relationship since 2014, beginning with the capital campaign for the new site of the Infant Crisis Services current location. When many Oklahomans find themselves facing hardships and in times of need, Infant Crisis Services has been there to provide formula and diapers for our most vulnerable children. We are honored to be recognized by Infant Crisis Services as a friend and a partner. And we are proud of the service and stewardship your organization provides to our youngest community members. It is important we help our neighbors, and Infant Crisis Services has remained on the front line providing essentials during these critical times. Infant Crisis Services has been a beacon of hope for those struggling due to the pandemic. Now, more than ever, your support is needed as the number of clients served reaches record numbers. Together, we can help to fulfill the need to serve our youngest community members. We ask you to partner with us in providing your support to Infant Crisis Services so we can continue to be good neighbors to all and help the youngest members of our community thrive. Thank you.
Now, I'd like to introduce Chris and Angela Allen. They are newer supporters of Infant Crisis Services, but have some of the most generous hearts we've ever witnessed. They have honored each of their children by giving to Infant Crisis Services, celebrating their babies by blessing even more babies.
I think we had a unique opportunity one time. We were visiting. We happened to be on site with Mickey. She was giving us a tour of the facility. And they actually had somebody come in the moment that needed help. And we got to really experience firsthand a person's specific situation and scenario that brought them there. That kind of cemented it, I think, for both of us at the time that that's the kind of impact we wanted to have, and it was really unique to be able to experience it.
What they do, who they are, everyone that works there, you can tell they have a passion for it. You can tell they do that for a reason. It's not just a job to them. They truly care about the community and who they're providing for. After having a child, it really makes you realize that, those kids don't ask to be in situations that they're in, yet they're the ones that suffer sometimes.
I think the mission really sticks out to me also because it's in their name. It's about individuals that are in a crisis situation, and they provide a service to them that honestly could change the trajectory of that baby's life forever.
It can be such a small piece of your time, your monetary efforts, whatever it may be. It can be such a small piece of you, but that's going to be the world to a parent that is in a crisis, and for that child that is benefiting from it.
My name is Amanda Howell. I'm the Manager of Communications for Infant Crisis Services.
I'm Teresa McMichael, a client of Infant Crisis Services.
Okay, Teresa, thank you so much for chatting with me today. And I know that you visited Infant Crisis Services for the first time during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So you have 2 daughters. Is that
do.
right? Okay.
Yes. Emma, age 8, and Erica, age 8 months.
Yeah, okay. So you obviously came because Erica had some needs. Right?
Yes, we definitely did. It started and I didn't think anything of it. I figured that everyone was buying toilet paper and hand sanitizer, all that kind of stuff, that the baby stuff would be fine. Come to find out, I go there and her formula, which was a hypoallergenic one, isn't there. And
just completely gone.
Completely gone.
Yeah.
And then the diapers, couldn't find her size.
So when you're at the store, there's no formula on the shelf. How many bottles worth of formula did you have at home?
I had about a couple of sample cans from the doctor's office that I had gotten.
Yeah.
So then I started like asking family or friends if they could find it in other states to send it.
Wow.
Because
Yeah, just doing it a nationwide
whatever I could
search,
do. And
basically.
then, I was on a Facebook page and someone had suggested check into your place.
Okay.
And that's when I started and then called and did application with you guys.
Yeah.
From where I was in Wyoming, they don't have an option thing like that. So I would have never even thought until someone has just suggested it.
So you guys previously lived in Wyoming?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been here?
We've
in
been here
Oklahoma?
almost a year.
Okay. So pretty new, don't have, all of those social connections and safety nets yet necessarily.
Oh, absolutely. And no family or friends here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. So you didn't really have anybody to turn to, but fortunately found out about Infant Crisis Services.
Yep.
Were you able to get your diapers and formula the same day you called?
Yes, actually, I believe I called that morning and I was able to come that afternoon.
Great.
And you guys actually had the hypoallergenic formula that we needed and the diapers, and you guys always give a little goodie package of wipes and a couple other little things.
Yeah. You said you were kind of surprised that we had the specific formula that Erica needed. Can it be hard to find, or tell me why she needs this specific formula?
It's not really hard to find per se, except for at that time, but it's a hypoallergenic where she has a allergy to the milk protein.
Yep.
And other formulas. So it was at least, I want to say until the end of May, maybe even sometime in May is when they started having it in stock.
Wow. So for
Where it
months you
wasn't
couldn't
bad.
find. For months you couldn't find that formula that you needed. Where does your mind go when you think, I don't know what I'm going to give my daughter to eat?
It was terrifying. Like it was so stressful. I told my husband, I'm like, what are we going to do? Like you couldn't even find it on Amazon because it was gone. It has been such a blessing to us not having what we needed, and you guys did. Like I wouldn't know what we would have done without you guys. To know that there is something like that in the city is amazing. Like I said, there wasn't anything like that in Wyoming. I wouldn't have even known what to do if we were still there and this would have happened.
Does it kind of give you a good feeling about Oklahoma that people take care of each other?
Absolutely. It's like community helps community, everyone helps each other. And I mean, there were things there, but not like this.
Yeah.
We love it. We are not ever going back, so.
Baby Raven came into the world weighing 3.5 pounds and spent the first 2 months of her life in the NICU. Between pumping, round-the-clock trips to see Raven at the hospital, and concerns about her daughter's health, Brooke was overwhelmed. When the doctor said Raven would need an expensive specialty formula once she was out of the NICU, Brooke didn't know how she would afford that on top of the medical bills. Families like the Morgans struggled just to make ends meet. While his wife is working a low-wage job, John stays home to care for their 3 children. He fears that they won't be able to afford the basic needs for their kids on just one income. He feels caught in the cycle, like he can never get ahead. At the age of 19, Rachel fled from an abusive relationship, leaving her to raise Brianna and Caleb alone. As a single parent, now she has to find a safe place for them to live, protect her kids, and make sure they have everything they need. Infant Crisis Services is a local nonprofit with the mission of providing essentials like food, formula, and diapers to babies and toddlers in crisis. For over 36 years, families have turned to Infant Crisis Services in times of need. These needs may look different for every family, but each parent that walks through our doors has one thing in common: putting their children first. The specific formula Raven needed would cost over $200 a week, which was too much for their budget. Brooke's first stop on the way home from the hospital was Infant Crisis Services. In addition to a week's worth of specialty formula, she was even able to shop in the boutique for hard-to-find preemie-sized clothing. John came to Infant Crisis Services for food when the pantry shelves were almost empty. When John left Infant Crisis, his trunk was full of fresh fruits and veggies, and even milk. He felt relieved that he would be able to provide for his family in the future. Rachel found Infant Crisis Services through a referral from a nonprofit that assists victims of abuse. Since she and the kids had left home so quickly, they didn't pack anything, and they needed clothing, shoes, blankets, even toys. Rachel found all these items in the boutique for free. She also worked with staff to get a housing referral and even toddler beds for the kids. She realized she didn't have to do everything on her own. When you walk through the doors at Infant Crisis Services, you'll find more than just food and diapers. You'll find empowerment, acceptance, strength, and courage. You'll find parents who are just like you. You'll find that you're not alone.
To you and me, it may just look like we're just providing diapers or formulas or a stuffed animal, but our families walk away with so much more than that. When a family comes to Infant Crisis Services, they're met with kindness and compassion, respect, and love from every staff member and volunteer in this building. And they leave with the comfort that they're not in this alone. To continue providing food, formula, and diapers for our tiny clients, we need you. Many of you have been loyal supporters of Infant Crisis Services for many years. Some of you are learning about us for the first time today, so you might not know that Infant Crisis Services is completely privately funded. We receive no federal, state, or United Way dollars. So it is up to the generosity of people with hearts like yours to make sure that we can continue to keep our shelves stocked and our doors open. We ask you today to help a baby in need. When this video concludes, please click the Donate Now button to ensure that Infant Crisis Services can carry out their mission of providing essentials for babies and toddlers when they need it most. Whatever gift you have chosen to give today will make a world of difference to a child in need. And don't forget, for every $100 you give, you'll receive an entry in our drawing for a vacation to Vail, Colorado. We hope that you have been truly moved and inspired. Thank you for giving. Thank you for sharing. We know we can count on you.